From her first introduction, Jewelry Bonney was seen using her devil fruit to manipulate her own age or the age of others. But in the Egghead arc, we discovered that she can do more than that. She can affect objects. She even imitated Luffy's Gear 3rd and transformed into Joy Girl. What if I told you that the Toshi Toshi no Mi she ate is not an age fruit, but a faith fruit? Would you believe me? Let me break it down for you so you can understand my point. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section down below. When something extraordinary happens, it is often said that faith can move mountains. Only no one has ever managed to move a mountain with the help of their beliefs. But by being firmly convinced, it is possible to act with a determination and a passion that goes beyond understanding. Remember that a single man who believes is much more dangerous than an entire army? That is why the Buccaneers, by their transmission of faith, represent in One Piece the greatest threat to a government whose power is based on a lie. Because getting rid of the mountain is also removing what obscures the horizon. It is bringing down what prevents us from seeing further. In the end, believing in something is already making it possible. And Ichiro Oda understood that very well. Miracles are, above all, human. So who better than the daughter of a priest to believe in them? Who better than a little girl raised all her life in a church to keep the faith? And you know with what mechanism the mangaka expresses, from the beginning, the desire and envy of his characters? Yes, the devil fruits. Because she always wanted to grow up as fast as possible and observe the sun, Bonney possessed the powers of the Toshi Toshi no Mi, a fruit allowing her to manipulate the age of any living being or object, and even to take on any future appearance. Only as Saint Jai Garcia Saturn told us in chapter 1103, the possibilities are reduced as we discover reality. The more the user doubts, the weaker they become. The fruit of age, therefore, seems to be much more complicated than it is, more, in reality, akin to a fruit of faith. In fact, by believing in something, Bonney can make it exist. That is why, in chapter 1111, she was able for the very first time to transform into Nika with the information from her father. I quote, "An elastic man whose only limit is his imagination, like a little boy who dreams of becoming Superman." Bonney dreams of becoming her father's idol, not Nika, the warrior of liberation, but indeed a person who makes people laugh and whose heartbeat liberates the oppressed. Because, you understood, Nika is not a man, but an idea. And because from generation to generation, the Buccaneers have never stopped believing in it, they made it become reality. Finally, I will remind you that Ichiro Oda is himself the father of 2 girls, and he wishes to express here all his love for them, to tell them that everything is possible, that if they want it, then they can, that if the boys can become Joy Boy, the girls can become Joy Girl. They too can laugh and free the whole world, and to do it, you simply have to believe in it. That is why in chapter 1103, the supernova couldn't transform because, quite simply, in the shadow of the mountain, she had stopped believing in it. She doubted. But it was by observing the Straw Hat in chapter 1106 that she understood. Just like Vegapunk, she needed to see it, not to believe it, but to understand it, to make the connection. From the beginning, her father was right. Monkey D. Luffy is Nika. He is the very personification of this idea. He is a miracle come true. And because he didn't know it was impossible, he did it. Absolutely none of this is new. Since always, Luffy has brought down tyrants and freed people, from Vivi to Airoli, through Rebecca and Shirohashi. The princesses in One Piece have tragic stories, but all find redemption thanks to the Straw Hat. And we must not forget, Sorbet also has its princess, Bonney. If he never wore a crown, the Buccaneer was still king, and so was his daughter, Princess. The Egghead arc, just like Dressrosa, Wano Kuni, or even Alabasta, represents the conclusion, but above all, the liberation of a royal family. Decidedly, passion and dreams are like time. Nothing can stop them. Because once again, today, someone has given meaning to the word freedom. Just like with the warrior Nika, it is with the arrival of the giants on Egghead Island that Bonney was able to testify to their existence, and especially their size, allowing her therefore in chapter 1113 to create a distorted future, a giant future. And here, she does not want a future like Nika, but a future where she is the freest. Do not worry, the very young supernova does not become the sun god. She only imitates his freedom. Like all children, she hung a cape on her back and put her fist forward. Because like her father, she started running to save others. And because she is convinced of flying, she ends up believing it. There lies all the irony of Saturn, who throughout his life made sure that people forget. He did everything in his power, even eradicating an entire race, so that the world would stop believing in Nika. But in the end, this belief only grew stronger day by day until it exploded today with Jewelry Bonney. All this thanks to her dad. All this because one day a man took a leap of faith without any proof. And while the whole world was against him, he bet everything on this young girl and never stopped believing in it. Because he knew that one day he would free her. In the end, he too achieved the impossible. Born a slave, he made his child the freest girl in the world. Yes, if this story is complicated, one thing is sure. In front of Bartholomew Kuma stood the biggest of mountains. But with his faith, he managed to move it.